Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Coming up here, what AEW Dynamite Ring Report we have for you? A lot of news coming out right here. We told you right here. Shane McMahon, a WWE long-standing executive and performer, been caught with AEW President Tony Khan. What's going on? What is secret meeting they're having? We're going to be saying that all night long. Secret meeting. Is Shane McMahon about to join the competition? What he's got planned? What's his agenda? What's Tony Khan's agenda? On top of that, we'll talk about it coming up. But we're on the road to All In. And I mean, we are all in. You can tell Shane McMahon's all in. We're getting back to what had happened last week when Darby Allin threatened to put a man on fire, which was crazy. Darby Allin won a match for his team AEW over the Elite. We'll get that coming up. And a lot more. We're moving and grooving. Even Daniel Bryan has a special announcement that he's going to make that many people didn't see coming, and I'll give you my details and what might go down with that coming down. All right, we get the Pro Wrestling Show started here on Connect TV. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Man, oh man, what a newsworthy Pro Wrestling Wednesday has been here on the Pro Wrestling Show for AEW Ring Report. Man, I mean, last week was newsworthy, and we thank you for last week's viewership. We was up with our views for the Ring Report for the double blood and guts. All right, let's get to it right now. We're going to waste no time whatsoever. We're going to get to things right now. We'll talk about what's going on Wrestling Hot Topics with Shane McMahon and Tony Khan. Because Shane McMahon jumped ship and moved to AEW. We'll get that coming up right now. All right, we're going to get to it right now with this. MJF, who crowned himself a couple of weeks ago as the America's champion. As you can tell right here, MJF getting himself together. He did not want to deal with the Aussie, Will Ospreay making that leap. Will Ospreay, I'll say this at least by Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay is ducking and dodging no one. Will Ospreay wants to be a fighting champion whatsoever. Will Ospreay want to get his hands on MJF after MJF pinned him and cheated to take his international championship. As we saw last week, the international championship was rechristened into the America Championship, which MJF could care less about this country. But MJF wanted to proudly show that he's American by taking the international championship away and making it as his own as the America's Championship. Will Ospreay wanted to get his hands on MJF real bad. One thing about Will Ospreay wants to find a way to get his hands and do what he needs to do. Well, Will Ospreay had his battle tonight. Ospreay went against Lance Archer. Lance Archer almost about 6'8", 6'9" in that range. Ospreay about 6'1". Well, Ospreay had his work cut out for him. And Will Ospreay wanted to show that he wants to get his hands on MJF. Well, we know that Lance Archer provided to be the one to lead that cause and wanted to do what he needed to do. And you tell Lance Archer looked at MJF and MJF ran away. Well, Lance Archer went against Ospreay. Ospreay taking it to Lance Archer in the match, even to the fact that Will Ospreay had this match won until MJF came out of nowhere and attacked Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay was defenseless, helpless. MJF decided that that's what he wanted to do. Be doing the coward's way and do what he needed to do. Coming out and with Osprey. And the Osprey had that hard fought match where Lance Archer. And that was face to face. Look at this one more time compared to the sizes right here. Man, Archer should be about 6'8", 6'7". Osprey should be about 6'1". Man, well, we can tell you this: that MJF tried to get the upper hand on Osprey. MJF tried to do what he needed to do. Well, we tell you this: that Osprey's friend, um, got his name. He came out of Kyle Fletcher. Came out there and won a piece of MJF and told MJF they sick and tired there and he wasn't fighting there. MJF agreed, and the two will meet next week on Dynamite, and we'll see that match, and will MJF be ready to go 1-on-1 against Kyle Fletcher? That's the only time we'll see that coming up. So hey, we'll see. Well, we move on to another one as Chris Jericho and his Learning Tree stable came out there. The stable came out there. Jericho wanted to showcase his abilities and stuff. Jericho, along with Big Cass and the other dude, um, Brian Keith, came out there to give a cake and a presentation. I don't know what Jericho's doing, but who knows what Jericho's up to. But let's see. Well, we get to this. Chris Stanlander was in action. Chris Stanlander was in action against Willow Nightingale. And Chris Stanlander and Willow Nightingale taking it to each other. I can say that right now. Chris Stanlander and Willow Nightingale wanted to show what they can do in the ring in the midst of it. So Chris Stanlander was doing that, trying to show Case what she can do in that ring. I'll say that right now. Chris Stanlander getting herself together. She went against Willow Nightingale and Stanlander doing what she needed to do what she needed to do. For her to do what she needed to do. So we see that Chris Stanlander hired by Willow Nightingale. We'll see how that's gonna be and how that was gonna go. Chris Stanlander wanted to show the world Willow. Willow did put up a fight, just wasn't enough for Willow. Willow taking it to Stanlander. Stanlander pinned Willow in the middle of the ring. Stanlander earns herself a shot at Willow's Mexican CMLL women's title. So we'll see that coming up sooner rather than later. In the end, we'll see how that's gonna play. Even to the point that Chris Willow Nightingale nailed Stokey Hathaway and nailed him and stuff. The security had to restrain these women, but Chris Stanley took it upon herself to do what she needed to do. We can show that one more time what Chris Stanley did. So Chris Stanley took upon herself, attacked the security guards with the chair, even tagged on, kicked and did wrestling moves on Chris Stanley, trying to make herself a bad, you know what? And she's doing so in more ways than one. Chris Stanley trying to send a direct message to Willow Nightingale, what she's gonna do to Willow. She takes Willow's Mexican championship away from. That could be how it might go down eventually. But we'll see. Also, too, we get the surprise of Brian Danielson. Look at Chris Stanley one more time. Um, Chris Stanley win her match over Willow, so they put enough to that. Well, we go to this. Brian Danielson came out there. Brian Danielson, better known as Daniel Bryan, came out there. He's gonna get the shot at the World Championship at All In after winning the Owen Cup tournament. Well, Brian Danielson did something shocking and said that he's gonna put his he's gonna put his career, his nearly 25-year career on the line at Wembley if he doesn't win the championship. Man, that's a lot of stakes and the high stakes right there to prove it. Right there, that he promised that he's gonna win it real if he doesn't want to do it no more. He said he came to win the AEW championship. That's what he wants to do. Well, the AEW champion Swerve Strickland came out there. These two will be in the main event at All In. Swerve saying he respects Brian's um Brian's career for giving back, inspiring a host of generation of millions. Brian will get a shot at Swerve. Swerve, a little bit heelish, but Swerve will defend the championship against Brian in a Swerve told him, put your word on your bond, put your career, and I put my title on line. So it will be a title versus career at All In, and we can tell right there, Daniel Bryan means business, and he's gonna put his career on line to get a shot at the AEW championship that he once wants. This could be the shot that he might need. Well, Brian Danielson came out there with Renee, and they talked 1 minute. Renee kind of trying to see where his head was at, but Daniel Bryan, if you can recall, he shook the hand of Swerve and said that this was a secret handshake. They're gonna do that and stuff. So Daniel Bryan is gonna be a man of his word and keep his end of the bargain. Or Jeff Jarrett came out there last week. Remember Jeff Jarrett last week talked to Daniel Bryan about he's proud of him winning the Owen Cup and said it would have been no better man to win it than Daniel Bryan, which he kind of making sense and making right sense. Well, Jeff Jarrett wants to go one-on-one against Daniel Bryan before AEW. If this is going to be his last time riding around the sunset, Jeff Jarrett wants to go around and see. Jeff Jarrett, a AEW wrestler, executive, he wants to see he go against Daniel Bryan next week, and that's going to happen next week per Tony Khan. We'll get that official word. All right, we move on to another story. Another story is this: the Beast. He teamed up and went against Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy um, playing too many mind games with the Beast. Talking about he's a Mandor, and the Beast trying to go and charge him. Roger Strong and Roosh was at ringside. Orange Cassidy won the match over the Beast, over the Bull. So no need for that. But hey, you know how they go. Well, we know that next at All In, Mariah May will set the challenge Tony Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. Well, Mariah May made it clear that she wants the AEW Women's Championship and she'll do whatever it takes to do what she needs to do. But she sat down with Renee Young. Renee Young wanted to know, why did she do what she did? Mariah May said she did what she did because she said she was in this business. She didn't want to get eaten alive. She was going to eat somebody else alive before it came. We know last week Tony Storm made her triumphant return after being turned on by Mariah May with the shoe. Tony Storm charged and went after Mariah May. Mariah May did not see it coming. Well, Mariah May saying she's going to have something for Tony Storm at All In coming up. So, hey, we'll see. Tony Storm made an appearance as well. Tony Storm said that she felt betrayed, she felt used, manipulated, abused, however you want to put it. She said she wanted to have Mariah May on her wing, but she said that was all facade, all fake. So Tony Storm said she's gonna have to do what she needed to do, and even she had the shoe. I knew she was gonna hit herself with the shoe, and guess what she did? She hit herself with the shoe. Tony Storm sent a brief message that she would not leave. She will leave with her AEW Women's Championship. So we'll see how that will be coming up at AEW at AEW All In. We'll see that. Well, the CEO, Mercedes Monet made her appearance tonight. Mercedes Monet will defend her championship against Dr. Britt Breaker next week. After that brutal ambush last week, when Mercedes Monet introduced the vixen the Amazonian known as Camille. Camille now joining forces with Mercedes. Mercedes Monet attacking Dr. Britt Baker, could be a big threat to a championship. We can tell you this, that Mercedes Monet will defend the championship against Dr. Britt Baker All In for the TBS championship when it was made at a Comic Con press conference out of nowhere. So that could be the possibility coming up for the CEO. So CEO Mercedes Monet getting herself ready, jocking herself for position. A lot going on. I can tell you that right now. The CEO looking forward to after um Camille decided to take matters in her own hands and defeated some jobber, and the CEO saying that she makes it look easy. And I think that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna be kicking some rear tail down the road. The CEO making it work, making light work. Mercedes Monet along with Camille could be a deadly combination, if you ask me, between these two women. So hey, when you got the brains and the brains of the CEO Mercedes Monet and the brawn of Camille, with a deadly combination that could be a deadly and dangerous combination. Well, we get to the main event. Darby Allin went against Heyman Adam Page. Darby Allin coming off the heels after last week. He took it to Heyman Adam Page with that coffin drop. Last week was something. Last week was something. Darby Allin led his team to victory in blood and guts. He almost set Jungle Boy Jack Perry on fire. And I didn't never would never had thought this term loosely. It's just crazy to me that he was gonna do that. But he's crazy enough to do it. He's crazy to do it. I never would have thought that, but you never know under circumstances and stuff. So hey, we could see that, but Darby Allin gaining momentum and getting himself ready for for um for All In when he wrestles Jumbo Jack Perry All In, and you can tell him and Page looking a little bit shocked and disappointed that he lost to Darby Allin. Darby picked up the win and got the win for himself. So good for Darby on that win tonight. Darby on the momentum. He could win the TBS championship coming up. So hey, we can see that being a possibility for real. So hey, we'll see. All right, that ends the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topic. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we talking about this. This is a shocker. We've been hearing reports and rumors about Shane McMahon was in talks in AEW. Now those rumors could be put to rest after we saw this picture right here. Once we get the picture up right here, we see Shane McMahon having a secret meeting with AEW President Tony Khan. I never would have imagined and thought Shane McMahon and Tony Khan and McMahon after Tony Khan went against Shane, and now going against Shane's brother-in-law Triple H. Man, what a small world we live in. But it could be the case. To be honest with you, when you think about it and stuff, it could be the case. Um, I never would have imagined and thought that Tony Khan and Shane McMahon would have deep discussions and stuff. What they were talking about, wrestling ideas, bringing Shane into AEW, you never know. But could we see this tandem, Shane McMahon helped Tony Khan and beating up the beat that he already knows the secrets. I mean, the secrets of WWE. He knows what the inner islands, the inner workings of WWE, what's going on. But it is wild in wrestling. I mean, wow. He could probably tell Tony Khan what WWE does and what WWE try to focus on, what they target, their demos, which they got the same demos, but AEW, man, Shane McMahon and AEW. I was saying if Shane McMahon do come in the AEW world, what do you think Shane McMahon want to do? Do Shane McMahon want to be the silent backer that helped back, told the Young Bucks to revolt within AEW? Or he could be the man that buys some of the stocks from the Bucks or somebody else, but thinking storyline wise that he co-owns AEW and him and Tony Khan can have a power struggle. You never know. You people would never have even imagined could happen. But Tony Khan and Shane McMahon on the same page, the same team, man, you got to wonder yourself what's gonna go down. That could be a possibility. Who knows? So we'll see. Also, too, Bill Goldberg appeared on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, and he talked about Braun Breaker being the next golden age of him. I think that could be the possibility, Braun Breaker. So we could see that being that way. And I mean, someone put down something with the 2K or something. Who knows? Well, we in this breaking news right here. Adam Cole saying that he is leaving Florida and he's going to uproot to go back to Pennsylvania. Adam Cole wants to go head back home. Who knows what's going on with Adam Cole? But we could see that being moved. Also, too, we had that Dolph Ziggler, who's a TNA champion, wants to go against former TNA champion AJ Styles since they're doing this jump stuff. TNA and WWE having this working relationship. Could we see Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles give an instant classic match for the Impact Championship? That could be a possibility. I would like to see that match before AJ hangs his boots. I think they wrestled before one time in WWE, if I recall. But hey, we know that MVP lacks shows that he expresses that he wants to get back in the ring. MVP saying and did some overtones that Triple H may be. We hear report Triple H might be, allegedly doing racial overtones on black wrestlers. Well, MVP wants to wrestle again, and MVP wants to put that to rest, and he wants to get back out there and wrestle. I would like to see MVP wrestle. I remember when he first came out on SmackDown, he was the free agent, and MVP was sitting down the crowd and he had two women with him every week. And you never know what MVP was trying to do. He was kind of like a Terrell Owens, Deion Sanders type pro athlete. He didn't, he waited and then he had Mexicans Kane, and then that's where everything came to suit. So who knows what could be happening. So MVP, we'll keep a close eye on that and see if he's gonna wrestle. We know that he appeared at Bloodsport and he wants to go against Josh Barnett one more time. So we'll see how this is gonna go. All right, that does it for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We leave you with a shock, disbelief. Heyman Adam Page losing to Darby Allin after what Darby Allin did to him and stuff. And Darby Allin been having a wild week and had a great week thus far. So, for me being Kidra Dick saying so long, thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We'll see you for the SummerSlam weekend pro wrestling shows with the SmackDown Ring Report, the SummerSlam predicted outcome, and the SummerSlam review show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. Thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show.